Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. I am your host, Jen Washington. This is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I would like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation. And welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. Today we have a special guest, Kyndra Crump, comedian and host of the Kyndra Crump Show. And she is a alumni from Clark Atlanta University. Welcome to the show, Kyndra.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This has been we were trying, but we made it. We made it happen.
Yes, right on. And so, good connecting with you today to get into a few topics. Always good to connect with fellow content creators. And so I see that you are in the comedian, physical comedy space. And I wanted to ask you about where you got your inspiration from. I know a lot of people are inspired by different things. What inspires you for your comedy?
What inspired me for my comedy is I never try to be funny. People have been telling me since elementary school I was hilarious and I need my own radio and television show. And so, especially with children, like it's three things that don't lie. It's children, a drunk man, and leggings. Okay. And so with that all being said, I decided to just go ahead. And I remember my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Rosser, she said, "You're the most hilarious student I've ever had. And I'm going to be somebody. I'm going somewhere." And I'm like, okay, Mrs. Rosser. Now, I don't know if I really passed her class, but shout out to Mrs. Rosser, man. Hope you listening because you famous because I keep shouting you out on every podcast I go to. But when it was 2016 and I remember I was on Snapchat and I said, hey, I think I'm going to go ahead and start up Welcome to the Kyndra Crump Show. And that was like the birth of the Kyndra Crump Show on Snapchat. And basically I would be like, it was like Little Kim's hardcore album, which actually I wrote some of her lyrics, but we beefing right now, which is why she ain't going to tell nobody the truth of who actually wrote some of her lyrics. Back to the story. So late 2017, early 2018, I imported my videos from Snapchat to IG, simply because I realized you can go viral on IG more so than Snapchat. And so with that being said, I started jumping on people's podcasts October 2020. And since October 2020, I've been on 700 podcasts at this point. I don't be playing no games.
Oh, wow.
I don't play no games.
700. Yikes.
The goal ultimately is for me to have my own.
Is there a certain number you're trying to hit with that?
No, I'm just trying to make it a Joe Rogan. But since Joe Rogan ain't answering, I guess I'll just come to the small people. That's pretty much how it is. And I'm trying to make it to the 85 South show.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Of course. It's gonna happen one day.
Yeah. Awesome. And so, okay. And then what about being inspired by some other comedians in the comedian space? Who are some of the ones you look toward?
I'll give you a top 5 favorite comedians, and I'm going to exclude Pryor, Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and Bernie Mac, even though Kevin Hart's not funny to me. I feel like when you wear a dress, you're already sold out. Shout out to Flip Wilson for starting that. My top 5 are Arnez J, Carlos Miller, Chris Rock, Steve Harvey, and Cedric the Entertainer. Those are my 5.
Oh, nice. Nice. Stay it in there from the loop.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Right on. Yeah, that's what's up. So there's been a lot of buzz going around with comedians. You mentioned Dave Chappelle, and definitely have to know your thoughts on what all the controversy with what he discussed in his stand up about transgender and the alphabet community. We don't want to offend anyone, but so what do you think about what he said? Was it going too far, or
he said the truth? He told the truth. He basically let y'all proved him right. That's my honest, like the community acts, they acting like Suge Knight from the 90s, and then they acting like Gucci Mane of Atlanta. Like, quit being the boogeyman around here. Come on, guys. It's fun. Yeah. It's jokes.
Right. I mean, yeah, it was at first they were just trying to get it yanked off the air. They're walking off the job at Netflix, and it's like they're trying to turn it into a revolution or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who would have thought it would have um, gone that far? Because I mean, people have been saying jokes about, this is not the first time, but I guess just because he's so huge in the space, it just seems like maybe he's the target, or I don't know, like the fall guy for the whole thing. It just
They need to
weird.
find somebody else to play with. It's not that serious. I promise you, it's not that serious, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I definitely believe in free speech, and I think people should be able to say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I dig that. Yeah, then that kind of opens the window up to the whole cancel culture as a whole. Not just the comedians, but rappers and
Yeah,
uh,
just like if you're gonna cancel one, cancel them all. Like Lil Wayne's a colorist. He doesn't like dark skinned women. Neither does Chris Brown, but they ain't canceled. Floyd Mayweather didn't want to take a picture with a fan
mhm.
the other day because he had colored nails, but he's not canceled.
Right, right. So it's like when it's convenient or just the flavor of the month or whatever,
Exactly.
was hot at the time
Mm-hmm.
or what. Yeah.
And it's stupid.
You wonder about those kind of things. Yeah. And then you have other people who are big influencers, if you will, like
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Samuels. He gets a lot of flack for the opinions that he has. Why do you think that he's so popular?
Kevin Samuels is still a mystery to me because I don't know how. Because maybe more than likely people like negativity. Why do you think the Shade Room has 30 million followers? It's negativity at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. So that's what they like. They like negativity. They like as a black woman, black folks coming against black people. That's what it comes down to. Why do you think lies in hip hop is still relevant?
Right, right. I mean, he's huge, but like you said, it's a lot of negativity, but people constantly are calling in and paying in. His numbers, like I think he's hit 1 million recently
Mm.
in a very short window of time. So it's like, why are we giving into, that type of narrative if that doesn't resonate with us as black women?
Mm-hmm. That's
You
real.
know, I know I've tuned in a few times just to see like, what's all the hype about, and it's just like, yo, he wildin', he's wildin'.
Very much.
Yeah. So.
Very much. Don't go on there. If you wanna make a fool out of yourself, he's the new age Jerry Springer. Go ahead. You
Yeah.
go ahead and get your. Have you ever thought about going on Jerry Springer? Oh,
No,
I wanted to.
no.
Is it? You think it's too late for me to go ahead and act a fool?
I think he's still around too, isn't he?
Jerry Springer's a freaking judge now. I'm like, bro, you have nothing else to do with your life.
Yeah.
Tell you, man. And then the audience members will fight. I really want to go on Jerry Springer so I can show my tatas and get those Jerry beads. I got nice tatas. I call them Zaza titties. I be selling them for like $30 per boob. So,
Yeah, Kevin Samuels probably wouldn't like that. He,
he will like it. Everybody likes my titties. Are you kidding me? I'll show you mine after this the recording's over.
no, 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 no. Yeah, that's crazy. That is off the chain.
One time, real quick pause. One time I did a podcast with a gay woman, and I had mentioned that. And she started laughing, like, "You want to see?" Because in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, she's gay, she want to see." But I'm like, Kyndra still kind of harassed me. You don't think you should do that? But she said no, and I'm like, "Girl, you want this." Anyway, moving on.
I'm sure. Hey, you might get a taker. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I do typically 7 times out of 10.
Hey, you done had 700 podcasts, so I'm sure somebody in there. But look, hey, you're more than just flesh, right?
Of course I am. I'm a free spirited person, honey. Okay, and I'm ratchet as
Yeah.
well. So you get what you get with me.
Right on. Yeah. So yeah. So tell me about your podcast. I know you said you kind of got started with IG lives um, and you kind of took it on from there. I was checking out some of your episodes out on Anchor and
Mhm.
had some really good content, your collaborations with people. So, like, what's the goal? Like, where do you want to take it? Do you want to take it to YouTube? Do you want to get into sketches, or what's your goal?
Okay, so I started doing my podcast called the Crump Show podcast. I started that with my homeboy Lance. Lance, I started that with because Lance is hilarious, and I said, "Hey man, you funny, I'm funny. Let's collaborate together." But you know, when you do start a project with somebody, somebody's not going to be as serious as the next person. So
Mm-hmm.
Lance fell by the wayside, and I literally for weeks at a time did not podcast because I felt like I couldn't do it by myself, but in actuality I could do it by myself. I just
Right.
allowed the fear to get in my mind. And so with all that being said, I had different podcasters from different co-host podcasters from one person to the next, and I decided to post my episodes on YouTube because I realized not everybody is going to have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Breaker, whatever podcast, podcast can go to. But everybody has YouTube. You can always listen to YouTube. You don't even have to have an account for that. It's free. So
Right.
I decided to start posting my podcast episodes on YouTube. I would say earlier this year or late last year or so. And
Okay.
so I'm kind of playing catch up, and I post them once a week on Wednesdays. And and I pretty much have fun with it. On my podcast, what I do now is I have a segment called What Would You Like to Ban? BAN. For example, I want to ban people who park over the line. Okay. And also I ban podcasters who are very unprofessional. It's like a Yelp review, okay? Because I look at it like this,
Mm-hmm.
Jen. If they're doing it to me, they're gonna do it to you as well. Okay. And I try to save you
Mm.
from wasting your time with those janky podcasters. Okay. They know who they are. And if they don't know who they are, you will once it blows up. Back to the story. So
Ooh.
that's pretty much what I do. I just I play, it's I'm trying to go. I'm trying right now. I got 23 like listeners. At first it was like 50, but people just fall by the wayside because they're full of
Mm.
crap as well. So yes, I'm just trying to get as many as I can because you get paid off of Anchor. But at the same time, I'm not getting that much. I'm on a penny per listener, but right now I can go buy a dub, so for that gas. Shout out to all the weed men out there who still pulling out the scales on their regular. Like, it's me. Don't do that.
Right. Okay, that's good. So, what about like sketches? That's pretty big on YouTube. Are you into that?
You know what I always say, man, do what works for you. When it comes with skits, I don't I do life, it's like Kiss, keep it simple, smarty. That's what they had to say
Yeah.
in elementary and middle school. They once called each other stupid.
Stupid.
Back to the story. So I work smart and not hard. Okay, I try to find an easy way out in life. That's what makes my life easier. That's why I look so youthful. It's not because I put let people shoot out on my face. It's because I work smart and not hard. Okay. So with
Okay.
that also being said, I will do a skit every now and again if I feel like being a skitful person. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I don't want to do no skit because again, a 3 minute skit is like an hour of actually getting it all together.
That's true.
With that
The
hour,
work
I can
behind
go
it.
ahead and find something else better to do, like go flick the beam. Okay. When I sit here and do my rants, it takes about 5 minutes. Okay. And great.
Mm,
That's what
okay.
I do.
Okay. That's dope. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just so many different lanes that you see the content creators go in, especially in the physical comedy space.
Mm-hmm.
I know my husband's a big fan of the YouTube
Go
people. The
ahead, marriage. I'm next. You know what? Being rapper, I always shout out my husband's. I'm in a poly relationship with Jason Terrell Taylor and Cornell Haynes Jr. Okay, that's the game in Nelly. Could be. I think his father's still fine, so I might get the senior right now. Okay, because apparently the senior might respond back to me faster than the junior. All right.
uh, shout out to Nelly's daddy, Mr. Haynes.
Have you ever seen Nelly or the game before in life?
Like in person?
In person, uh-huh.
I want to say we've probably seen Nelly around. I know got some of his
Are you
family
in Missouri?
members. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
From
okay,
St.
cool,
Louis.
cool. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, her. Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell
Yep.
him I said hey, because you see him faster than I will.
He'd be everywhere though, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the big homie. But yeah, there's so many different ways you can go with it. But there's I dig it, the different sketches and things that people do on YouTube. I mean, some people have really built their whole comedy career off of those. So I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you can't really even like compart, knock the hustle. Really, like whatever works.
No,
So
of course, of
yeah,
course. And like I
yeah,
said, for me, I just learned that you just because one person does it one way, it's multiple ways of skinning the cat. People will get so discouraged because of the fact that if they decide to, for example, if they want a podcast, they're like, oh, well, I want to do a sports podcast. You can still do one. Don't be discouraged of doing that. Just do it. If you feel like you got a voice and you're funny, or you got a voice and you can rap, you can still rap. Okay. Even if it sounds like this person. So, like I said, when it comes with me doing my comedy, like, you can make people laugh. They can still get the point without you having to go do a skit or whatever. Now, I have skits in
mm-hmm.
mind, and that's why I'm going to need like a male role person, that I can get on, hands on with and everything else like
Yeah.
that. That's why I'm trying to get one or the other, man, because we might end up doing a little something freaky, on camera with our clothes on.
You and the guy.
Any guy that got some money and looks good. That's the only stipulation.
Okay. Right. So, what would be your advice to someone who wants to get into the comedy space or podcasting space as a
So this is a
influencer?
5. I'm gonna do 5 for 5. These are it's 5 Bible verses and 5 pieces of advice that can help anybody out there. This is universal, okay? For anybody going after their dreams. Number 1, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Because at some point you're going to end up, God is going to bless you to be where you're supposed to be. And if don't aren't humble, then it's not going to work out. It's honestly not going to work out.
Right.
Um, Mark 11 verse 24 says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you're receiving, you shall have it. Okay. Number
Hmm.
3 is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. Okay. That's in Proverbs. And the other one is don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And basically that means whenever you do a good deed, do not sit here and showcase your actions. Don't do that. It doesn't do you no good. And that shows
Hmm.
your character as well, and about the people who's gonna want to work with you and everything. The last Bible verse is be not conformed to this world, but be transformed and renewed in your mind. So many people are followers instead of being leaders. And I
Hmm.
definitely strive to be a leader. Okay. Now my 5 pieces of advice is behind every no, there is a yes. All right.
Hmm.
Number 2, never make a decision when you're desperate. All right.
Mm.
Number 3, expect the best but prepare for the worst. Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you deal with it. All right.
Mm.
And number 5, and I'll explain what number 5 means. Number 5 is when you first meet somebody, start them off with an F and have them work their way to an A. And I say those 5, I say number 5
Yeah.
especially because so many times we become very trusting of people. So many times we will sit here and tell our whole life story and not realize folks can be plotting on us. They should not know your every move. I don't
Right.
understand what people's obsession with just showing your highlight reels on social media. Social media used to be a fun place, but now it's to prove yourself games. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be like that. You want to post everything. Post how freaky you get with your significant other. Some things you keep off the internet, man. Some you
Hmm.
should not be
Hmm.
posting money. Don't be doing. It's always funny how folks like to post them smoking weed, but nobody wants to show them doing that line of cocaine. Come on, you ashamed? So no, like I said, like those are my 5 pieces of advice and 5 Bible verses that I hope helps you guys.
That's what's up.
And
And
then
then
also, wait, I'm gonna do an honorable mention for a Bible verse and an honorable mention for advice. Honorable mention for a
yes.
Bible verse is a man who does not work does not eat. That is a shout out to all you bum dudes out there who wait on your woman for hand and foot, and you want to sit here. You can beat my nephew, okay, in some 2K12. Stop it. And then also do cocaine because crack is whack. And if you do cocaine, go to Colombia because it's real cocaine. They sell it to you for $5 for the bag. Okay, a big ass bag at that. Over here, a big ass bag is $100,000. The end.
Okay. Okay. Well said. And then how can people find the Kyndra Crump show? Please let us know.
Well, first off, y'all can find me on the corner. Well, while I'm not on the corner, y'all can find me on Instagram. It's the Kyndra Crump Show. So D is in the, KYN as in Nancy, DRA, CRU, M is in Mary, P is in Paul Show. Not with no money sign, not no fake ass ASAP Rocky, okay? SHOW. My YouTube is Kyndra Crump. KYNDRA. Please put a space between Kyndra and Crump because a lot of y'all's wills and y'all's butts don't go round and round. CRUMP. The end.
All right. Okay, we will have those links posted for the
It's a shame that you
listeners.
still gotta post links when people just don't understand, man. I'll be spelling it out all like 30 letters, and
You
people still be
know,
like, "What did she say?"
what's the
What? That's
link?
why you fail. Listen, man. That's why your credit score is still a 100, okay? Because you failed at that. There's still some people who think that once they go ahead and have unprotected sex, they can just take the plan B. Not if you ovulated. Do you not read the directions on the box? Ha ha! Now you on your eighth child.
Oh no. You have to read the instructions. So look.
Ketchup goes in the refrigerator when it's open. That's what it says, man. Stupid people. But I still want y'all to come and support me because I like y'all. Okay.
Yeah, we will. We will. Okay, so I'll put the links for the people who need it. And then everybody else, you just fall in line. So, anything else you want us to know, Kyndra?
Yeah, you guys can do whatever. I'm on a serious note. Got to keep God first, no matter what. He will direct your paths, and no matter what else, everybody else will fold, but God will not. And if He actually sees you doing the work, He is going to be there every step of the way. I promise you, He will. And listen, you talking to somebody who had a dream of probably being, I was trying to be a multitude of other things, but at some point I came back to what initially I was supposed to do. Hopefully this is it. If not, I have
Yeah.
other dreams lined up. That's why I said expect the best but prepare for the worst.
Right.
So with that being said, I want you guys to just really go after it. It does not matter what happens. I want you guys to also remember when you're going after your dreams, you're gonna have to be okay with having seasons in your life. There are going to be seasons you're doing really good and seasons you're going to be doing bad. And you have to be okay with people giving you the runaround, people trying to charge you to get, to promote you, and promotion should be free, especially if you have real talent. Now, if you garbage, I'm charging you all day. But if you got real talent, okay, you should be, and it's an interview. People should not charge you for interviews, but people will. That's the thing about it. Just no matter what happens, man, you stick to your guns. Do not prostitute yourself to try to make it. Do not go broke trying to make it, because you will be one broke prostitute on the side of the road asking me or Jen for money, and we're gonna be like, we told you to listen to this podcast and you didn't listen. That's all I have to say.
Right on. That's what's up. Look, hey, that's some good advice. And look, I have been charged for an interview, so I know that people will do it.
Girl, shout their names out so I won't ever go to them. You know what? Let me go ahead and go. I'm gonna get you in trouble. I want you to
Yeah.
sleep well tonight. If they got a problem, you let me know, and I'm gonna open up a can of whoop on them. I ain't been in a fight in a while.
Right on. Okay, well, I appreciate your time. I know you got to skedaddle. And yeah, we thank you guys for listening. Much success.
At this time, we are going to go ahead and conclude this episode. We do appreciate you listening. We do invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. The Gmail is wokebyaccident at gmail.com. And we are available on all of your favorite streaming platforms. Please go out and follow us, share, leave a review, tell a friend, and every time you listen, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, and take care.